Welcome to this video from the Final Mind.
All right, let's just jump right in. I want you to imagine something for a second. A ghost, maybe. A ghost that can write like Shakespeare with all that genius, but has never, ever felt a broken heart. Or think about a machine that can build these dream labyrinths, as complex as a Christopher Nolan movie, but it's never actually slept. It's kind of creepy, right? Well, this is the world we're about to step into.
So, that brings us to this huge question. And look, this isn't just about code or hardware anymore. This question, it gets right to the heart of what it means to be human. Can a machine truly create? Or is it just haunting this graveyard of human genius, picking up the pieces, rearranging the bones of people who actually lived and felt things? That's the big mystery we're going to try and unpack here. And here's the crazy part. The illusion, it's almost perfect. Get this. A 2024 study in Scientific Reports found that almost half the time, 46.6% of the time to be exact, people literally could not tell the difference between a poem written by a machine and one written by a person. And in some cases, they actually preferred the AI's version. Wild, right?
So what's going on? How are we so easily fooled? Well, what's really fascinating here is that it often just boils down to simplicity. The study pointed out that people kind of like the AI's elegant rhythm and its simple, direct imagery. The machine is polite, it follows all the rules perfectly, it doesn't rock the boat.
Basically, AI poetry is just easier to read right off the bat. It doesn't have that frustrating, messy complexity or those deep, hidden layers that make human poetry so tough sometimes, but also so rewarding when you finally get it. It seems like we're confusing something being easy to understand with it actually being good. And that is a really, really important distinction to make.
Okay, so if it's not really creating, then what in the world is the algorithm actually doing? To get our heads around that, let's put it up against the ultimate benchmarks for genius. We're talking Shakespeare, the guy who literally reinvented the language we use for love and loss. And on the other side, Christopher Nolan, our modern architect of mind-bending movies. The difference? Well, it's huge. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have human genius. It's forged in the fire of real, lived experience, of moral choices, of having a singular vision for something. But AI, it's a whole different game. It runs on training data. It's not feeling anything. It's just calculating. It's playing a numbers game, figuring out the statistical probability of which word should come next based on trillions of examples it's already seen.
There's actually a great term for this. Academics call it a stochastic parrot. And it's such a perfect metaphor. Think about it. The AI can say, "I love you" with perfect grammar, perfect syntax, but it doesn't understand love any more than a parrot that's been taught to repeat the phrase. It's just mimicking the sounds, not the soul behind them.
And this brings us to these fundamental gaps, the really human stuff that, at least for now, seems totally impossible for any algorithm to cross. It's not about what AI can do anymore. It's about what it fundamentally is not.
And when you break it down like this, the difference just becomes crystal clear. I mean, look, on the technical stuff, like mimicking a style or just raw speed, AI is off the charts, no question. But when you look at the things that actually define genius, stuff like real innovation, emotional truth, lived experience, the machine is either faking it or it's just not there at all. It can't feel grief, so there's no way it could ever write Hamlet.
And who better to talk about this than one of the architects we mentioned? Christopher Nolan is super clear on this point. He sees AI as a powerful tool, for sure, but he insists that the vision, that core spark of creation, that has to stay human. It's a tool. It's not the author.
So let's just nail this down. The really crucial thing is this. AI lacks what philosophers call qualia. That's just the subjective, personal feeling of what it's like to be something, to feel the sun on your skin, or to be heartbroken. It has no moral stakes. It couldn't care less if the story it tells is true or a lie. It's built to be correct, which means it can't have those happy accidents, those mistakes that lead to amazing creative breakthroughs. And, maybe most important of all, it can't break the rules to invent a whole new game. And that, right there, is the definition of real genius.
And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate we're having. This is changing our world, right now. As these tools get woven into our creative industries, they're bringing both incredible promise and some pretty serious risks.
So, on the one hand, you've got the promise, right? AI democratizes creativity. It gives artists and filmmakers everywhere access to tools that used to cost a fortune. That's amazing. But, on the other hand, there's the peril. We are facing a very real danger of flooding our culture with what people are already calling AI slop. Just endless, derivative, formulaic stuff that kind of looks like art, but has absolutely no soul. And this is exactly what Nolan is warning us about. He says if we just let machines generate content without a clear human author in charge, we end up in a creative nightmare where nobody is actually accountable for what's being made. It's like he says, having all this complexity without any real wisdom, well, that's just dangerous.
But here's a funny twist in all this. By showing us the absolute limits of a perfect machine, AI is actually helping us see what makes us so imperfectly and beautifully human. It's like it's holding up a mirror to us.
And you know what? This isn't even a new problem. Think about this. Nearly 200 years ago, the world's very first computer programmer, Ada Lovelace, she totally saw this coming. She argued that a machine can follow orders perfectly, but it can't originate anything new. It can remix, but it can't invent. And after all this time, 180 years of progress, that core idea is still true.
So where does that leave us? Here's the bottom line. AI can do an incredible job of faking the surface of genius. It can mimic the style, copy the patterns, echo the voice, but it can't match the mind. Why? Because the mind isn't the final product. The mind is the life that creates the product. Shakespeare's genius was completely tied up in his grief. Nolan's genius is tied to his moral convictions. You take away the life, you take away the genius. It's as simple as that.
And that leaves us with one last kind of haunting question. And honestly, it's not really about the machine anymore. It's about us. In this new age of infinite machine-made content, when our world is just flooded with perfect echoes, do you, still have the patience to listen for that messy, imperfect, but totally authentic human voice?
Thank you for watching. To view similar videos in future, do not forget to subscribe.